2 years ago, fighting for Freeport began with a simple belief: our community deserved better. Better information, better accountability, and a louder voice. We started small. We made mistakes. We faced resistance. And we learned that meaningful change never comes easily. But you kept watching. You kept asking questions. And together we turned an idea into something much bigger than any one person. Fighting for Freeport was never supposed to belong to me. It belongs to every person who believes the facts matter, that public trust must be earned, and that transparency, integrity, and accountability are worth fighting for. Now, it is time for Freeport's next chapter.
Emily Parker, community reporter.
Ethan Cross, next generation reporter.
Sarah Collins, crime and courthouse correspondent.
Brian Keller, government correspondent.
Elena Reyes, Democratic political analyst.
Jack Sullivan, Republican political analyst.
Alex Mercer, fighting for Freeport news anchor.
And I'm Imani Brooks, chief news anchor. From all of us at Fighting for Freeport News, thank you for welcoming us into your homes, your phones, and your lives. United together, we'll help move Freeport forward. We'll see you soon.
Fighting for Freeport was never about one person. It has always been about the future of our community, and more importantly, those who call Freeport home. I can't wait to see your proven results. It's all yours.
Good evening, Freeport. I'm Alex Mercer.
And I'm Imani Brooks, Alex and Imani, AI. Yes, we know.
Apparently somebody thought they were pretty clever.
But there's a reason we're here. Fighting for Freeport has spent the last 2 years asking questions, requesting records, attending meetings, and bringing information to this community. Now, we're giving you another way to receive it. The faces and voices you'll see tonight are created using artificial intelligence. The reporting isn't. The records are real. The meetings are real. Even the interviews are real. And the stories affecting this community are very real. That's why you'll hear us say, AI reporters, real news.
Every Sunday night, we'll bring you the week behind us and a look at what's coming next.
And we're starting tonight with local government. Brian Keller is standing by with For the People. Let's get started. Brian?
Good evening. I'm Brian Keller, and we're here
For the People. Thanks, Imani. The Committee of the Whole meets Monday night at 6, and one item immediately caught our attention. City staff is proposing a 10-year license agreement covering 185 acres of taxpayer-owned property at Albertus Airport. Under the proposal, local contractors would mow, maintain, and handle weed and thistle control on the property at no cost to the city. Staff estimates doing that work in-house would cost approximately $18,500 a year, not including equipment upgrades.
Brian, when you say no cost to the city, what are the contractors getting out of this? They aren't maintaining 185 acres for nothing.
No, they're not. In exchange, the contractors would be allowed to use those 185 acres for hay production. So, the city provides access to taxpayer-owned land, they harvest the hay, and in return, maintain the property without receiving payment from the city. I'll be diving into the nuts and bolts of this one next week, because the property surrounding Albertus Airport has been controversial before. Fighting for Freeport previously uncovered surrounding landowners using taxpayer-owned airport property under outdated agreements, and in some cases, with no agreement at all, while benefiting from that public property. So one question we expect to hear Monday night is this. If this agreement moves forward, are Freeport taxpayers completely protected from liability for what happens on that property? We'll be listening for the answer. Also on Monday, Council will discuss the 2027 road program, and Mayor Jody Miller will proclaim September 5th Ben Zobrist Day in Freeport. The Committee of the Whole begins Monday at 6 p.m. at City Hall. Residents are welcome to attend and make public comment. I'm Brian Keller, reminding Freeport that government works best when it is by the people, for the people.
Thanks, Brian. We'll certainly be watching what happens at City Hall Monday night. Now, from local government to Freeport's next generation. Summer is quickly winding down, and that means students and families across Freeport are getting ready to head back to school. Ethan Cross, host of Fighting for Freeport's Generation Next, has what families need to know before that first bell rings. Great to see you, Ethan.
Great to see you too, Imani. All right, kids. I hate to be the one to say it, but the countdown is officially on. Summer break is almost over. Students across Freeport School District 145 head back to class Thursday, August 20th, and there are a few dates families need to know before that first bell rings. For incoming freshmen and new students at Freeport High School, open house is Tuesday, August 18th from 5:30 to 7:30. That same night, Freeport Middle School welcomes 6th graders and new students from 5 to 6:30. And throughout the week leading up to school, elementary schools across the district will be holding their Meet the Teacher nights. Parents, I've put the complete schedule for every school in my latest article on the Generation Next page at fightingforfreeport.com. Now, getting ready for school isn't just about schedules and supplies. Kids, I've got your first Ethan's homework assignment. Before August 20th, I want you to think about one thing. What do you want to accomplish this year? Maybe it's making the honor roll, making the team, joining a club, reading more, making new friends, or just walking into school this year with a little more confidence. Whatever it is, make it your goal. And I've got something special for you. With your parent or guardian's permission, visit the Generation Next page at fightingforfreeport.com and tell me what your goal is for the new school year. I'm going to read them and choose one Freeport student to receive a special back-to-school gift from Generation Next and the Fighting for Freeport team. So come on, Freeport students. I want to hear those goals. And parents, here's a pro tip. Get excited with them. Ask your child what they want to accomplish this year, and then listen. A new school year isn't just another year of classes. It's a fresh start. And all year long, Generation Next will be celebrating Freeport's young people in the classroom, on the field, on the stage, and throughout our community. Because today's students aren't just preparing for Freeport's future, they're already helping shape it. I'm Ethan Cross. Have an awesome start to the school year, everybody. Imani, back to you.
Thanks, Ethan, and good luck to all of our students getting ready to head back to school. We'll be watching Generation Next all year long. Now we turn from the classroom to the courtroom. There are 2 criminal cases the Fighting for Freeport News team has been asked to follow closely. For that, we head over to Sarah Collins with Crime and Punishment. Sarah.
From the streets of Freeport to the Stevenson County Courthouse, I'm Sarah Collins, and this is Crime and Punishment. Thanks, Imani. 2 criminal cases we've been following closely are back before the court, and both have important developments coming up. First, Traviante Berry. Berry is currently serving a prison sentence for the murder of Carl Green Jr., but his case is back before the court on a post-judgment motion. Court records show several subpoenas were issued this summer, including subpoenas for Acadia Ishman, Gina Thomas, and Myleka Avery. Berry is scheduled to be back before Judge Schorsch this Wednesday, August 12th at 1:30 p.m. as those post-conviction proceedings continue. At this point, the court record does not tell us what the judge will ultimately decide, but Fighting for Freeport will be watching closely. Now, to the case of Ishan Sanders. Last week, the judge denied Sanders' request to reconsider his bond and modify the conditions of his pretrial release. That means Sanders will remain in custody as he awaits another trial. This case has already gone before a jury twice. His first trial ended with a hung jury in January of 2023. His second ended in a mistrial this past February. Now a third jury trial is firmly scheduled to begin October 26th, with trial dates reserved through October 30th. Before that, Sanders is scheduled for another status hearing on September 10th. 2 cases, and 2 very different stages of the criminal justice system, and will continue following both. For Crime and Punishment, I'm Sarah Collins.
Thank you, Sarah. And I also want to thank Sarah for her live update earlier this week on the Sanders case. I know that people throughout the Freeport community were anxiously awaiting that news. We can also confirm for you tonight that Sarah has in fact scheduled an exclusive interview with the mother of the alleged victims in that case. Fighting for Freeport will be bringing you that conversation soon, as we continue following this case and the families affected by it. Now, from the courtroom to the political arena, it's time to hear from both sides. Let's head over to Jack Sullivan and Elena Reyes for Red, Right, and Blue. And hey, you two, I love your set. I can't wait to see the first debate on it.
Jack's red,
Elena's blue.
and together, we're red, right, and blue. Thanks, Imani. We love the set too, although Jack has already started suggesting improvements, which is impressive considering nobody asked him. And you won't have to wait long to see us put it to work. Invitations to candidates will be heading out soon. Jack and I have been friends for years. We don't vote the same way, we don't always see government the same way, and believe me, we've had some arguments. But we've never allowed politics to become more important than our friendship. I'll be bringing you issues from the Democratic perspective, and Jack will be representing the Republican perspective, and then we'll come together right here to talk about them.
She's right, except my suggestions for the set were excellent. And that's really what this show is about. Red on one side, blue on the other, and somewhere in between, trying to find the right thing to do for a better community and a better Freeport. We're going to disagree, sometimes strongly. But we'll listen to each other, challenge each other, and remember that the person sitting across the table isn't the enemy just because they see an issue differently. With November elections approaching, those conversations matter.
Freeport saw record turnout in our last municipal election, but we still have work to do if we want a truly informed and engaged community. Fighting for Freeport has made it easier. With links on our website, you can check your voter registration, register to vote, follow our election coverage, and even find information for residents considering running for local office themselves. Because ultimately, this isn't about Republicans winning or Democrats winning. More often than not, we see people in both parties lose sight of what their party is actually supposed to stand for. That's part of our job, too. Jack isn't here to automatically defend Republicans, and I'm not here to automatically defend Democrats. We're here to challenge our own sides when they deserve it, and challenge each other when we disagree. Jack will bring the red. I've got the blue. And somewhere in between, we'll keep looking for what's right for Freeport. That's what red, right, and blue is all about. Back to you, Imani.
Thanks, Elena. And just like that, we've made it halfway through tonight's premiere. So we want to take a moment for something special. Because no matter where we stand, for better or worse, Freeport is one community. Beginning this month, on the first Sunday show of every month, we're going to celebrate birthdays from across our community. A special thank you to Freeport resident Akia Sanders for the idea. Akia, we loved it. Want to give someone a birthday shout out? Visit fightingforfreeport.com and send it our way. And with that, let's celebrate some of Freeport's August birthdays. All of us here at Fighting for Freeport would like to wish a very happy birthday to Izar Trevino, Betty Moon, Dan Campbell, Robin Dole, Katrania Ishman, Slimbugi Solo Sulya, Jackie Diedrich, Tikieta Ishman, Danielle Ivory, Joshua Atkinson, Tasha Gates, Matt Franson, Rachel Horton, and on August 15th, all of us here at Fighting for Freeport are celebrating 2 years of fighting for all of Freeport. Happy birthday, everybody! Each month, I want to take you behind the headlines and show you some of the work we are doing that you don't always see. In July, our team filed 6 Freedom of Information Act requests with 4 government agencies, with an average compliance rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars. The Freeport Fire Department, Lena Police Department, and Stockton Police Department each earned 5 stars for their responses. The Illinois State Police received 4 stars for its response involving Steve Cassell and 3 stars for our request involving the Academy of Readiness and Character. Remember, these ratings aren't based on whether we get the answers we want. They're based on how well each agency follows the law and serves the public's right to know. You can read the full requests and agency responses on Fighting for Freeport's online FOIA tracker. Because sometimes the story you see today started with a records request weeks ago. And now we turn to Alex Mercer, who has been busy preparing the latest chapter of our Holy Kisses special investigation. It involves the multi-agency criminal investigation into allegations against Steve Cassell, pastor of Beloved Church in Lena, a quote-unquote trusted figure involved with multiple churches and religious schools. Cassell has also built relationships within powerful political circles, even publicly describing himself as a close friend of Republican gubernatorial nominee Darren Bailey. Alex, I understand you've uncovered something tonight that may shock a lot of people. What did you find?
Thanks, Imani. There are days I wish I could go back to reporting on wasteful government spending and political corruption. Tonight is one of those days. For more than a month, Fighting for Freeport has made no secret that we are aware of allegations involving multiple girls and Steve Cassell. We have been extremely deliberate about what we've reported and what we've withheld, working with our legal team, respecting the investigative process, and staying true to something we believe very strongly. We believe victims, we believe women, and we will do everything we can to help protect our children. Some people have even criticized my reporting on Holy Kisses because I haven't simply come out and said everything we know. There's a reason. Every day, I have to believe our system works. That when children come forward, the adults entrusted with protecting them will put opinions, loyalties, and politics aside and do the right thing. But over the past month, we've reported on a Lena police officer refusing to take an official report from a child and her mother. Reported the scheduled interview with an alleged victim that never happened. We reported the date that police told them the case would be presented to the Stevenson County State's Attorney's Office, only to later learn it didn't happen. We've reported on a mother being told by the state's attorney to call back in 2 weeks. We've reported on Cassell's defamation lawsuit against the mother of 2 young girls, one he ultimately agreed to dismiss before the case reached discovery. And we've watched families struggle with the consequences of allegations that have divided husbands and wives, daughters and fathers, sisters and brothers. Meanwhile, Cassell has continued preaching publicly and traveling internationally while authorities tell families they are still investigating. Through all of this, we've deliberately refrained from publishing the details of the allegations made by these girls. Until tonight. Not because we've decided guilt or innocence. We haven't. But because at some point, the public needs to understand what these children themselves say they have been trying to tell the adults around them. Tonight, I'm going to read the first statement in its entirety. It was submitted to a Wisconsin court by a girl we have permission to identify as Mary Niger, as part of her request for a restraining order involving Steve Cassell. These are her words. My name is Mary Niger. My relation to Steve Cassell is he is the pastor at Beloved Church in Lena, Illinois. I have been going to Beloved since May 2021 to now. My dad is the reason I attend this church because he has court-ordered placement time with me until I am 18. The behavior started in 2021 and still is continuing in 2026. The most recent incident was May 3rd when I was working in the sound booth and Steve came into the sound booth and tickled my neck. I proceeded to pull away and said, "Please don't touch me." And he responded with, "It's just a joke." After that, he proceeded to walk away and left me alone. All throughout the past 5, almost 6 years, he has been giving unwanted hugs, cheek and forehead kisses, and winking. When he embraces for a hug, he tends to grab my side boob area or my lower back to the start of my butt area. These continued events cause me to feel very uncomfortable even stepping into the church. The reason I am filing for this restraining order is because I do not feel safe nor comfortable stepping near Steve Cassell as I fear he may continue this unwanted behavior. Nothing about reading that is easy, but those are the allegations contained in the statement before the court. A child put those words on paper and asked adults, and the justice system, to listen. And tonight, we're making sure her words are heard. This does not determine Steve Cassell's guilt. That determination belongs to the justice system, and the investigation remains ongoing. But protecting the integrity of an investigation does not require us to pretend these allegations don't exist. Soon, I'll be sitting down for an exclusive interview with Sue, Mary's mother, and we'll bring that conversation directly to you. Until then, I'll continue following the records, the investigation, and the facts wherever they lead. For Fighting for Freeport, I'm Alex Mercer. And now to end tonight with some positive news highlighting the best in our shared humanity, I turn it over to Emily Parker at the Community Corner.
My daddy always said, a town is just a place on a map. It's the people that make it a community. Hi, y'all. Welcome to Community Corner. I'm Emily Parker. Today, we're sharing a story about kindness, service, and one woman whose legacy will now be remembered for generations every time someone drives down Liberty Avenue. Joining me today is 3rd Ward Alderwoman Rachel Simmons. Thank you so much for taking time out of what I know is a busy schedule to sit down with me. I really appreciate you being here. So let's just jump on in. On July 20th, Freeport's City Council unanimously approved an honorary street designation recognizing Verdine Mama T. Allen. Now, anyone who watches City Council meetings knows unanimous votes don't always happen these days, so seeing every member come together in support of this resolution really stood out. Can you tell us about the proposal and why this was something everyone could rally behind?
I think every member of the council recognized that. Regardless of our differences on other issues, we could all agree that someone who spent decades pouring into Freeport deserved to be recognized. Those unanimous moments remind us that even when we disagree on policy, we can still come together to celebrate the very best of our community.
And I think that matters too. Folks can disagree about plenty of things and still come together when something is simply the right thing to do. Many people in Freeport knew Mama T personally. But for those watching tonight who never had that privilege, who was Mama T? What made her such a special part of our community?
She saw needs that others overlooked, and she quietly met them without expecting recognition or praise. I think that's why so many people have such fond memories of her. Long after people forget what someone said, they remember how that person made them feel. Mama T made people feel loved. That's a legacy that lasts far beyond a street sign, and it's exactly why this recognition is so meaningful.
Mama T made people feel loved. That really says a whole lot in just a few words. As I was reading through the application, I noticed something that kept coming up over and over again. People talked about how she fed families, helped children, opened her home, supported neighbors, and served faithfully through Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. When you think about Mama T, what do you think people will remember most about her?
That's actually a question I wanted to answer the right way, so I asked her son what he thought people would remember most about his mother, and without hesitation, he said her dependability. He said she was always there for people in their time of need. I think that says everything. We all know people who have good intentions, but Mama T was someone people could count on. When people drive past that honorary street sign, they'll remember a woman whose life reminds us all of the influence one person can have on a community.
That's a pretty special thing to be remembered for. One thing I learned while researching this story is that honorary street designations don't just happen because someone asks. There is actually a process involving petitions, support from neighboring property owners, city staff, and ultimately city council approval. Was this a fairly straightforward process? And if another neighborhood wanted to honor someone who made a lasting impact on their community, is this something that's reasonably easy for residents to pursue?
Yes, it is a straightforward process. It includes getting signatures of more than 50% of the homeowners and paying for the signs. Then it goes to council for approval. I think that's important because it ensures these recognitions are thoughtful and have genuine community support. Overall, I think it's a process that is accessible to residents who are willing to put in effort. I think that's a positive thing because it allows recognition to come from the community itself rather than from City Hall alone.
Have you had a chance to speak with Mama T's family since the resolution was approved? If so, how are they feeling? I have to imagine seeing your mother's or grandmother's name honored in this way has to be an incredibly emotional moment.
Yes, I have had the opportunity to speak with members of her family. And the community, they're incredibly happy. This was a long time coming, and it finally happened.
It seems like so much of what we hear these days focuses on problems. Stories like this remind us that Freeport has been shaped by remarkable people who quietly spent decades making life better for everybody around them. How important is it that we keep recognizing people like Mama T so future generations know who helped build this community?
Mama T's story reminds us that you don't have to hold a title or seek recognition to make a lasting difference. She built her legacy through kindness, generosity, faith, and a commitment to serving others. Those are the kinds of stories we should be preserving.
I think that's exactly right. And Rachel, I've got one more question before I let you go. This one's about you. We're already starting to see candidates circulating petitions for the 2027 municipal election, and I know a lot of people in the 3rd Ward are probably wondering the same thing. Can we expect to see your name on the ballot next year?
Right now, my focus is on finishing the work the people elected me to do. There are still important issues facing our community, and that's where my attention belongs. Everyone, please go vote. I do plan to run. Until then, I'm going to keep showing up, doing the work, and advocating for the people who place their trust in me.
Well, there we have it. Rachel Simmons plans to seek another term representing Freeport's 3rd Ward in 2027. Rachel, thank you again for spending some time with us today, and thank you for helping us celebrate someone whose kindness, generosity, and compassion touched so many lives here in Freeport. Sometimes the greatest legacy a person leaves behind isn't found in a history book. It's found in the lives they changed, and now, thanks to this honorary designation, everyone who travels down Liberty Avenue will be reminded of one of those remarkable neighbors. I'm Emily Parker. Thank you for joining us for Community Corner, and until next time, remember, it's the people that make it a community.